Hello there, this is a video to try and help some of my GCSE Year 10 students with their forthcoming oil pastel sheet. Hopefully most of my guys who are in my current Year 10 group will be watching this, but if you're not, if you want to see a bit of oil pastel drawing, maybe this is the video for you. Basically, what's on the screen here is a quick little speed up of the drawing from start to finish and then reversing back again. And then just some information about what this sheet is about, in particular for assessment objectives, which is for drawing, A03, and also experimenting, A02. So it's going to hit 2 out of those 4 assessment objectives, so it's definitely worthwhile. The only thing you've got to bear in mind is that you've got to be really patient, and you've got to take your time with the blending of oil pastels. In the rest of this video, it's just going to show you, dead quick, it's only 4 minutes, don't panic. It's just about how the oil pastel's built up and what you need to be looking for. I recommend fully that you read properly before you attempt doing an oil pastel. I had a gold bar, one of the most marvellous bars you can get. I also inappropriately took an accidental distressing selfie of myself when I was doing this video while I was trying to do the technical series on the camera. But let's not get into that, let's just have a little look at what this drawing is about. So, this starts off just by me getting some octagons, and these are what my Year 10s are going to be making from images from their other sheets. And they are going to be a base to be extended out from the oil pastel. I always start off with blue oil pastel first. I always find it just works out a lot better for me, and it's not as dominant as black, and you can blend other colours into it really well. I wouldn't use yellow, it's one of the worst colours that you can use, so blue, it's a little bit here and there, and it's pretty good intermittent between the two. So the drawing starts off, I'm just trying to place the octagons amongst the oil pastel drawing that I've done. Some people like to grid off the drawing before they draw it. I just prefer to draw it freehand. Because it's drawn from a natural form, it means that it is a little bit more forgiving than if you were drawing something mechanical or a found object. When you start blending and building up your base tones, it helps if you want to do that either with opposite colours in the background. So for instance, if it's yellow, helps to have things that are purple behind it. If it was, say, a harmonious colour, you might decide to blend in other colours like a red or an orange next to a yellow, depending on what you're looking for. And just in the top left there, what I'm trying to do is just build up a little bit of texture using the main harmonious colours there, a little bit of white to bring highlights, and then black, but very carefully. You must be really careful with that black. One of the key parts you need to be aware of is that when you're building up the base tones, it will look messy in the beginning. So don't stress about that. If you look at a lot of my drawing, before it gets the texture and colour built up, it tends to look a little bit childish and a little bit blocky, but you need those base tones to give you oil pastels to blend into. The most important visual element really when you're doing this is going to be texture. Once you've got your colours on, once you've got your tone sorted out, it looks right, that detail and texture is essential for those people who are looking to get those A's and A stars. You need to be getting very scratchy textures on hairy objects, more sort of like cleaner, more smoother textures on shells, or in this case in the top right bit there, it looks a little bit like a loofah, it's supposed to be like a sea sponge, that needs to be quite hairy. As the drawing progresses, what I try to do is get different overall natures of colours into each different object. For instance, if you look at the red flower in the middle, nothing else has that amount of red. Although if you look at the picture that I drew from, I've had to exaggerate it. So when you're drawing, you have to lie a little bit, which is called being illusionistic, which means you need to sometimes think about what the overall dominant colour is that you want to use. So be mindful of that and pick your colour schemes carefully. Don't make every single thing red, because it's going to then be a lot harder to make that drawing look varied and interesting. I've exaggerated the red in the little flower in the middle. In the top right loofah bit, I've made it a bit more colourful, and in the bottom right, which is the poppy, I've actually made it more yellowy and browny just to try and give that same effect there. I hope this has been help to you Year 10 guys, and if you've got any questions about this and you're not one of my Year 10 guys, please message me through the channel. Thank you very much, bye bye.